Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Preston Endress. Brian Kohberger, the individual accused of murdering 4 students of the University of Idaho in late 2022, pleaded guilty earlier this July. Kohberger was arrested in Pennsylvania 6 weeks after the murders. Because of his plea deal, prosecutors agreed on no execution, so he will serve 4 life sentences. Kohberger is being given a chance to speak at the sentencing, along with the victims of his families, who expressed mixed feelings on his declared punishment. Kohberger's motivation for what happened remains unknown. His trial is set to start next month. The Hazleton Area School Board has moved its upcoming meeting from this Thursday to Monday, August 5th at 5 p.m. It will take place in the first-floor conference room of the Hazleton Area Career Center, accessible through the Administration Building at 1515 West 23rd Street, Hazel Township. Board President Ed Szymanski says the agenda is expected to include the hiring of staff to fill open positions ahead of the new school year. Administrators are working to ensure all roles are filled and classrooms are ready in time. The first day of school is set for September 2nd. To all kids preparing themselves for the new school year, good luck out there. Taking a look back on a Monday report, a Hazleton police officer responding to a fight on July 13th ended up in a crash after a Jeep ran a stop sign. It happened around 1:15 a.m. on July 13th at the intersection of North Locust and West 2nd Streets. Police say the officer was en route to a reported fight in progress when a Jeep Grand Cherokee failed to stop at a stop sign on West 2nd Street and collided with a cruiser. The impact pushed the police car into 2 parked cars, which was heavily damaged and had to be towed from the scene. The crash took place in a neighborhood, so luckily no one was injured and there were no casualties, as no one occupied the 2 parked vehicles. Investigators say the Jeep's driver was a juvenile with only a learner's permit. That driver has been cited. The officer was evaluated at Lehigh Valley Hospital in Hazleton and was later cleared to return to duty. It is a huge relief that the officer remains on his feet. The Hazleton City Police are gearing up for this year's National Night Out, Thursday, August 22nd from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and they're looking for vendors to join the celebration. National Night Out is a nationwide community building campaign that promotes police and community partnerships. It is a chance for families to enjoy an evening of fun, food, and entertainment while getting to know the local law enforcement. Vendors, businesses, and organizations interested in taking part are encouraged to contact Officer Jessica Sirkin at jsirkin@hazletonpd.org for details on how to get involved. Organizers say the event is a great way to support a safe and united community. Coming up on WYLN News, the Briar Creek Township Police Department is looking for 2 individuals. Plus, PennDOT announces a new campaign regarding bridges. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health, investing in your well-being and building healthier communities because more expertise and convenient care mean better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
Hi, I'm Lil. Tomorrow's going to be sunny.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman.
Watch Solo Spaceman on WYLN Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 7, and Sundays at 4:30.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Laura Rivera had headaches and dizzy spells. Her soccer star Lucy was out of alignment from playing sports. Stay tuned and see how chiropractic can help both of them.
Back to WYLN News. The Briar Creek Township Police Department has an active warrant out for the men shown on screen. Chad Allen Martin is wanted on one count of driving with a suspended or revoked license. According to police, he is 53 years old. He is described by police as having gray hair and blue eyes, with his height being 5 feet 10 inches, weighing 170 pounds. Cameron Mark Hess is wanted on one count of operating a motor vehicle without an official certificate of inspection. According to police, he is 21 years old. He is described by police as having blonde hair and blue eyes, with his height being 5 feet 7 inches. Anyone with information on Martin's and or Hess's whereabouts is asked to call the Briar Creek Township Police Department at 570-759-0354. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation has started a new public awareness campaign. Check your height, you know it's right. The new campaign is geared towards helping motorists avoid hitting low bridges with their vehicles. According to PennDOT's data, there have been more than 600 bridge hits in Pennsylvania for the past 10 to 12 years. Drivers are encouraged to check their vehicle height in order to put an end to bridge hits, which not only damage and or destroy vehicles, but also damage infrastructure, make traffic delays, and risk the safety of public people and emergency responders. In Pennsylvania, vehicles and carry-ons that are taller than 13 feet 6 inches must apply for a special hauling permit. Drivers looking to travel can check routes for low-clearance bridges on 511pa.com using the Low Bridge Map layer. In Hazleton, 1992, a man was convicted of robbery and murder. During a robbery heist of a Kentucky Fried Chicken, he murdered his teenage friend. Both were apparently 17 years old. Thus, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 2012, the man named Todd Young Ray Tarselli was acquitted from a life sentence, as the U.S. Supreme Court ruled juveniles cannot face life sentences without parole, so he won a resentencing. Tarselli was resentenced in 2023 to 52.5 years to life. Recently, after a list of dates and appeals regarding Tarselli's actions and the weapons, it all comes down to imposing his last sentence and being remanded to the Department of Corrections, crediting Tarselli the 33 years already served. Due to the newest sentence, Tarselli will be eligible for parole in about 13 years.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Catherine Stetler. I am a Special Assistant to the Secretary for the Department of Human Services.
For a positive note during summer vacation, the Shapiro administration spotlights the significance of making sure children have food to eat all the time, all being done with a Sunbucks program. The Sunbucks program is a seasonal federally funded initiative for helping qualified families buy the right kinds of food in Pennsylvania, making sure families, especially the children, have plenty to eat. The people of Feeding Pennsylvania and Central PA Food Bank partnered with the Department of Human Services and Department of Education to promote the program. While food is always needed, summer is an active season. Therefore, it is a time to keep refrigerators and pantries full of the right nourishable goods. Coming up on Wilkes-Barre's News Choice, we go to Lehigh Valley Hospital Carbon to discuss mammography on this week's Wellness Wednesday. Plus, WYLN historian Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Williamsport Part 3. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cher's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazelton, 570-454-7229. Cher's is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business.
WYLN TV 35 is expanding and is on the hunt for a dynamic salesperson to join our vibrant team. If you've got the passion and the drive, we want to hear from you. Send your resume to the email displayed on your screen. Don't miss this great opportunity.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Hi, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lisa Marie, and I am on the campus of Lehigh Valley Hospital Carbon in beautiful Lehighton. And I am here with Colette Kresge,
Yes.
who is a mammography technologist.
Correct.
And we are going to tell you about this amazing breast health services that are right here at the health center. Tell us a little bit about what breast health services encompasses for our patients.
So Breast Health Services is a full service mammography unit that is, we have several different sites. It is a one-stop shop per se. Women can come in and get their screening mammograms. They can have their diagnostic studies if they're having a problem. If that is the case, they come into us. They see our nurse, they're examined by our nurse. They are then imaged by us. If there's any more imaging required, such as ultrasound, that is done as well the same day. And then the radiologist reads it right away, and then that patient gets the results.
So you've been doing this a long time.
I have,
You
yes.
are an expert.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like how many years do you want to?
40 years.
40
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So I know I would definitely feel comfortable, especially, women sometimes are a little hesitant about getting
Yeah.
their mammograms, especially, if it's your first.
Right.
So having someone seasoned like you, and I know we have Deb and Connie and Brenda
Yeah.
at the Health and Wellness Center in Hazleton that are just as seasoned.
Yeah.
It makes our patients
It does.
feel comfortable.
And honestly, I have to say, all the technologists at Breast Health Service are seasoned. We have been here 35 years. We come here and we stay here because we know we're doing a great service. We have a great department. And we're doing what we do. That's why we're here.
So one of the things, and I talked to Deb and Connie at one point about this, is when a woman comes in and she gets her mammogram or she is going for a specific diagnostic
Right.
test, how soon do they get the results? Because a lot of that can be very anxiety-ridden for someone.
Well, for a screening exam, they come in, they have their study, they leave. Then the radiologist will read it. It can take up to a day. We tell the patients it can take up to a week to get the results. Typically, they have them within a few days. There are times when the reading list is not that long, and they have the results like in a few hours. But that's not common. I mean, typically it's a day or, a few days. The diagnostic patients, they have the results that day. If there would be, say a patient needs to, is examined and they are recommending a biopsy, that biopsy is scheduled by the nurse that day, so they leave here with the appointment to see the surgeon, or if one of our sites does the biopsy.
So is there someone that navigates this care for them in this department at all?
Our nurses typically navigate the follow-ups with the patients. If they do have a biopsy with the surgeon, there is someone that our nurses take care of that.
And that's, that's comforting, as a patient to know what the next step is, what do I need to do, especially if they would get some kind of a result that's not as favorable, so that way they can be guided. And you guys always do a great job with that.
Yeah, we do.
That's awesome. Anything else about the services that you want to...
We do also have ABIS, which is an automated breast ultrasound. That is a screening tool. It is used in conjunction with the mammogram for patients who have dense breast tissue, to supplement the mammogram to make sure that we're seeing all that tissue that might be very hard to get see-through on the mammogram itself.
So if someone is needing these services, they need to have a referral or a script from their...
A screening mammogram, you do not need a prescription from the doctor.
Okay.
An ABIS, we do need a prescription from the doctor. And anything diagnostic, if they're having a problem with their breasts, they do need a diagnostic script from the doctor.
And when you say doctor, it could be their gynecologist, primary...
Right, whoever they see.
Okay.
Yes.
Colette, thank you so much
thank you for joining us and
Absolutely.
having us and promoting us.
Absolutely. And thank you for watching Wyln Wednesday.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know Wyln posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. Wyln, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Attention WYLN viewers, WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns.
you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hi, I'm Lou. Tomorrow going to be sunny.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
A legend in the magazine business would also get its start in Williamsport in 1882. Grit magazine was originally founded as the Daily Sun and Banner. In 1885, it was purchased by German immigrant Dietrich Lamedy, who rapidly increased the magazine's circulation. Grit was aimed at rural Americans' news, editorials, and other content, and strove to give an optimistic mindset, promoting goodwill towards all. Small towns across the country brought up Grit magazines throughout the 20th century. By the time of Lamedy's retirement in 1936, it had a circulation of over 500,000. Grit would move its corporate offices to Topeka in 1992, but remains in business today. 1883 would see the opening of the Lycoming Rubber Company. A subsidiary of the United States Rubber Company, it specialized in making tennis shoes and Ked sneakers, among other footwear products. Production was idle due to a slow economy for 1910 and 1916, but the factory was reopened after World War I and was soon processing 12,000 pairs of rubber shoes a day. The Great Depression, though, would be a mortal blow, and in 1932 production shifted to Naugatuck, Connecticut. A hosiery mill soon moved on to the site, and in 1934 the Wyln Pajama Company leased space in the building. It would buy the entire complex in 1951, and soon after became the largest pajama factory in the world. It would gain Broadway and cinematic fame in those years, as the building was used for research in developing the hit play The Pajama Game. Theater agents scoured the building to get an idea of how the stage should look for the show, and items for the factory was used in the show's eventual film version as props. The Wyln Pajama Company closed in the late 70s, and today the building houses an art community. The last decade of the 19th century would see the rise of trolleys in Williamsport. Peter Hurdick had funded the creation of the Williamsport Passenger Railway Company in 1863, but it had not been profitable during his lifetime. The line was purchased by a Philadelphia syndicate in 1890 and subsequently electrified. Following successful trial runs of an electric trolley system in August 1891, regular trolley service in the city, beginning at 5:05 a.m. and ending at 1:40 a.m., began that November. No fewer than 6 rival lines soon sprang up. An outright war between these companies soon commenced, with trolley companies tearing up their competitors' tracks right after they'd been laid. Eventually, by 1894, they would all merge into a single company, which retained the Williamsport Passenger Railway Company name. Williamsport's trolley system would outlast many other communities, continuing regular service well into the 1940s. Summers in Williamsport around the turn of the century would often mean trips by locals to Sylvandale Park. Opening along the Susquehanna 4 miles below Williamsport in 1895, Sylvandale featured a mile-long bathing beach by the river. A dance hall, carousel, miniature railroad, and baseball fields were among the park's other attractions. Although it could be reached by road and railroad, the most popular way to reach Sylvandale was on the double-decked Hiawatha paddle wheeler. Based on a dock near Market Street Bridge, it carried riders 3.5 miles downstream to the park. It could hold up to 200 passengers and allowed children to ride for free. The Hiawatha would be destroyed in 1914, crushed by a massive ice jam in the river. Its destruction was the beginning of the end for Sylvandale Park, which could not get enough patrons to the park by other transportation methods. The park would close in 1930. Today, a modern riverboat with the Hiawatha name cruises the Susquehanna in the summer, continuing its predecessor's legacy. The nascent aviation industry would take off in the Roaring '20s, with more and more pilots taking to the skies during the decade. For those that dared to try and cross the Atlantic, though, a strange, persistent problem often showed itself. Pilots would frequently become extremely fatigued during transatlantic flights, meaning many fatal crashes. One former Williamsport resident became a celebrated figure in scientific experiments to study these effects. Edna Newcomer had been born in the city in 1904. She was bitten by the performing bug at age 20 and had moved to New York City, where she became a regular Broadway dancer. Soon, Newcomer would be interested in flying and applied for a pilot's license. By the fall of 1932, she had logged 350 hours of airtime and had taken up parachute jumping as well. It was this that brought to the attention of Dr. Leon Pasculi of Long Island, who decided to do a test flight to see why pilots seemed to get fatigued crossing the Atlantic, believing it would prove a hypothesis he had that it was due to carbon monoxide buildup. The flight would thus need a registered nurse on board, whom Dr. Pasculi planned to have parachute out of the plane over Florence, Italy. And at the time, Edna was one of only 2 registered female nurses with a pilot's license in the country. So when the only other potential applicant, Gladys Wilmer, declined to be in the flight, Dr. Pasculi approached Edna with an offer to be on the flight. After conferring with her mother Rebecca, who told her, "Go to it, Edna, you'll make it," Newcomer agreed to be on the flight and to take the parachute drop into Florence. Joining she and Dr. Pasculi on the flight aboard the plane dubbed the American Nurse would be pilot William Olbrich and a groundhog named Tailwind, whom Dr. Pasculi had found with a broken leg along the road and nursed back to health. Tailwind would serve as an early warning for any carbon monoxide buildup in the cockpit, as well as the overall mission mascot. With Newcomer aboard, the American Nurse lifted off from New York on September 13, 1932, destined for Rome, which pilot Olbrich hoped to reach within 24 hours. The plane, however, would never reach Europe. Its last verified sighting would be nearly 400 miles from the continent aboard the SS France. When the American Nurse did not land in Rome on time, search parties were sent out all over the Atlantic. No wreckage of the plane or the bodies of Edna Newcomer and her fellow aviators would ever be found. More successful will be the career of Carl Stotz, born in Williamsport in 1910. Stotz enjoyed and played baseball with his nephews Jimmy and Major Guerin while not in his job as a lumberyard clerk. It was during one particular game of catch in 1938 that Stotz stumbled over a backyard bush and heavily banged his leg. While recuperating on the back porch, an idea struck him, and he asked the boys, "How'd you like to play it on a regular team with uniforms, your own cap, and a new ball for every game, and bats your size?" Acting on his whim, he was soon driving his nephews and every other boy in the neighborhood around Williamsport looking for the perfect place to play junior-sized ball. Although he could not get permission from the state to play games at his preferred location, he had devised the basic dimensions of Little League field, 60-foot baselines and 46 feet from the pitcher's mound to home plate. Along with his friends Bert and George Bevel, Stotz would shop around for sponsors for his proposed youth league. He would find 3 initial sponsors in Jumbo Pretzel, Lycoming Dairy, and Lundy Lumber. A location was found to play the games in Park Point by early 1939. Carl would draw out home plate in the pitcher's mound for the new diamond with a penknife, and his sister Laura Stotz Guerin, mother of his beloved nephews, sewed the bases. On June 6, 1939, the very first Little League game would be played at Park Point, with Stotz managing Lycoming Dairy. Although his team would lose this first game to Lundy Lumber by a score of 23-8, Lycoming Dairy would win the inaugural league championship. Little League spread rapidly from there, with the first Little League World Series being held in South Williamsport in 1947. Stotz remained Little League president until 1955, when he resigned in frustration over what he saw as over-commercialization of the game. Today, nonetheless, Little League has become an American institution, giving countless youngsters a chance to play the national pastime. Carl Stotz died in 1992, and today rests in Muncie's Twin Hills Memorial Park, his legacy in baseball's history more than secure.
Tomorrow's going to be sunny.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.